Silvia was helping Saori as she styled Alexi's hair before the music video shoot started, but she could tell that Saori was struggling to focus. Silvia was somewhat lost on what had happened after what the Dreams team now called the salon incident. All she knew was that after Mr. Junwon spoke with Saori, he asked Elaine to take Silvia to an actual salon to get her hair fixed. Then, when they returned that afternoon, the entire department for Dreams was deserted. Even the members were gone. Silvia and Elaine looked around and found Mr. Junwon on the phone, clearly asking for apartment prices. They didn't bother him, and instead returned to the design room to begin planning the tour outfits for Dreams. The next morning, Silvia found Saori showering at the company building. She was confused, but left without speaking to spare Saori any embarrassment. Even now, as they worked together, Saori still seemed worried and distant, but definitely less tense. As the shoot progressed, Silvia continued to watch Saori. She noticed Elaine doing the same. They were very worried about Saori, partly because they were still confused about what had caused the whole incident. The shoot was busy, and work progressed quickly. Elaine and Silvia did their best to stay on task, but at the same time, Silvia was enjoying hearing happy banter about the concept of the music video shoot. "Remind me why our first concept is sweet boys in love," JP pouted. "Can't I at least wear my leather jacket, Nuna?" JP whined and playfully slumped onto Silvia's back. Over the last month, she became much closer and more comfortable with their group. Silvia chuckled. "JP, you know the answer to that." She shrugged him off, then pulled him into a chair to begin changing his hair style for the next section of the video shoot. Silvia felt eyes on her and giggled, and while slowly turning her head in the direction of the sensation, she said, "Are you staring?" Silvia was now somewhat used to catching Sojun watching her as she worked. Sojun had explained the first time she caught him that seeing her sometimes feels like déjà vu, and he gets swallowed up by that feeling. This time, as usual, he simply blushed and said, "My bad." "It's okay," Silvia said calmly. "Just don't get too distracted." Her sentence was covered up by Sol's cackled taunt. "Oh, did Hyung get caught staring again?" Silvia heard Sojun growl as the taunting had also become normal. However, she couldn't help but worry about how Sol's taunts, or her mentioning him staring, could be making Sojun upset. She worried about making him uncomfortable at work. Sojun turned to face her, and seeing her concern, Sojun said, "I'm okay. Annoyed, but okay. After all, Sol loves to tease, but it's because he cares." "I know, I just worry," Silvia smiled. Although partially in disbelief, she trusted all of them. After all, some of the days that she crashed at the company over the past month, she'd find a cup of hot chocolate on her desk when she woke up, and Elaine hadn't arrived yet. Silvia only found out it was Sol when he was covering her with a coat one evening and accidentally woke her. She had been quite surprised to learn that he was quite caring underneath his mischievous exterior. Silvia quickly wrapped up JP's hairstyle and had him switch with Sojun. Silvia really enjoyed working with the guy's hair, especially because she usually made them purr while she massaged their hairspray-coated hair. It was so amusing to see them melt while she loosened their hair to change the style. Silvia could feel Sojun leaning into her hands as she moved her hands through his hair. She giggled. Sojun hummed, then asked, "What's so funny?" "It's just, I kind of feel like I'm petting a cat whenever I do your hair." Silvia blushed at the childish feeling. Sojun returned the chuckle. "I can't help it. The way you massage my head always feels amazing." "I've heard the others say the same. You have quite the hidden talent. Maybe you should have become a masseuse." Silvia ran a comb through his hair. I appreciate the compliment, but if I had become a masseuse, we wouldn't be friends. Sojun gasped. Oh, you're right! I take that part back. I'm so grateful to have you here. He tilted his head back, looking up at her from his chair. You hold still. I'm not done yet, Silvia scolded. Silvia finished working on his hair just in time for the director to call everyone to their places. Silvia followed Sojun to the set where everyone was gathering, and the director explained what the next scene was supposed to be. The shoot continued with regular breaks for the members to rest and cool off while they monitored the shot. Silvia worried about the breaks being too infrequent, but the members of Dreams continued to smile through their work. During one of these breaks, Mr. Junwon called Saori over to him, not too far from the crowd. Silvia did her best not to listen to the private conversation, but she still heard Mr. Junwon say, I'm so sorry, but I couldn't find any place within your budget that would let you move in on such short notice. Silvia heard Saori get choked up as she said, It's okay. I'm sure you called every complex from Gongyeong to Songnam. I appreciate that. I know you tried your hardest. I'm just worried about using company space in the meantime. Now it makes sense, Silvia thought as she approached the pair. Mr. Junwon looked so guilty that he didn't find her a home. I'm sorry for overhearing, but Saori, you lost your apartment? Shame came over Saori's features. She must have thought she could make a switch, but with her workload, it didn't work out. If you're comfortable with it, I'd be more than happy to share my apartment with you, Silvia offered warmly, with a gentle smile gracing her features. Silvia saw the shock on their faces and heard a few gasps from behind her. Everyone knew that Saori had been rather cold to Silvia since day one, and many had heard rumors that the salon incident wasn't as pleasant as was announced. Saori's voice cracked as she asked, Why would you help me? I mean, I've been so rude to you. Saori's gaze shifted to what Silvia assumed was her hair. Elaine joined them, surprise evident in her tone. I knew you were sweet, Sil, but I never expected this. I mean, do you even have space for someone else? Silvia glances around, seeing bewilderment, concern, and admiration on everyone's faces. I have plenty of space. I just want to help, and maybe make my place less lonely. Company will help with that. Some of the nearby workers noticed Saori shifting uncomfortably between her 2 feet, embarrassed by the number of eyes. They quickly found the tasks to occupy themselves. Silvia could tell Saori was unsure about the proposal, as she refused to make eye contact. You don't need to decide right now, Onni. Take as much time as you want to choose. With that, Silvia guided Elaine back to their spots by the cameras to help everyone finish the music video shoot. With the video concept, they only had 1 day to finish all the indoor shots, so that meant tomorrow, the members would be running through fields and laying in the grass. To everyone's gratitude, the rest of the shoot finished without incident and was wrapped up shortly before the sky decided to pour down on the team. A few shouts and squeals rang out as everyone scrambled inside the building, and cars with the last of the recording equipment. The next day came, and everyone arrived on set early. Silvia has started to develop a steady rhythm. Touch-ups, small outfit repairs when needed, hair, break, and repeat. The day went by very quickly, and after the last hairstyle adjustment, she stood along the sidelines of the recording area. The location they chose looked absolutely beautiful. She watched Sojun run through the grass, and as the light caught his eyes, she couldn't help but feel as though they had been here before. She shook the feeling away and hurried to put her tools away. The morning after the music video's shoot conclusion, Saori shyly came over to Silvia and Elaine as they ate breakfast. Silvia carefully stretched each of her stiff fingers before picking up her chopsticks. This was the first time in a while Silvia had seen Saori with actual food. "Would you like to sit with us, Onni?" Silvia sweetly asked, placing her hand on the chair next to her. With an evident blush, Saori nodded. Silvia pulled the chair out for Saori and joined the pair. Elaine was bewildered. In all the time she'd known Saori, she'd never seen her so timid. Silvia chose not to dwell on Saori's evident discomfort and instead asked, "Onni, do you like kalguksu?" Saori's eyes shot open as she looked over the food on her tray. I guess she didn't realize what she was grabbing. Saori must be stressed, Silvia thought with sympathy. "Don't worry if you haven't tried it. It's really delicious." Silvia was trying her best to help Saori relax, but she felt so unsure of what to say. "Thank you, Silvia. I'm sure you're right. It's just this is the first time in a while that I even thought about eating in front of others," Saori said quietly. Silvia was grateful that she had felt prompted to sit in a more hidden area, since Saori may not have approached her today if they had sat in their usual busy spot. Silvia admired Saori's courage as she saw her take her first spoonful of the soup. Silvia was grateful for the special meals each day to break up the monotony of the cafeteria options. Most of the others ordered the same meals every day. Silvia returned to her own meal and proceeded to eat. Silvia hoped that gentle encouragement and comforting words would help Saori rebuild her inner foundation. After all, in this industry, you have to have a strong mind to stay sane. "Saori, it's so nice to have a meal with you," Elaine finally spoke. "Really?" Saori paused, confusion etched in her eyes. "But I'm so messy." "Oh, I've never thought that," Elaine said. "Yes, I agree," Silvia added. "I also think that working with you has been amazing. You're organized, efficient with decisions, and moving plans forward. But I took so long just making the designs for Alexi's promotional outfits," Saori said, utterly confused and shocked by the praise. "Every artist experiences slumps, and they're even worse when we're stressed," Elaine casually said. Silvia nodded in agreement. Sylvia saw tears well in Saori's eyes, but she quietly wiped them away and returned to her tray. Elaine and Sylvia did the same. Saori cleared her throat, so Sylvia turned to look at her. Saori was visibly nervous, but she pushed through and spoke. "Sylvia, I did think about your offer. If it still stands, I will gratefully accept." Saori bowed in her seat with Sylvia. "Of course my offer still stands, and I'm excited to welcome you home," Sylvia said, placing a hand on Saori's shoulder. "But, please, from now on, no formal talk if you can help it." Saori's head shot up. "Huh? We're friends sharing an apartment. We don't need to be formal," Sylvia explained. "But you called me Onni," Saori tilted